Hello, everyone. I need to unpack something with you. I usually tag folks because I don't like, as you know, I don't like subtweeting. But this that I want to talk about is not about an individual. It is about a set of behaviors that are problematic as fuck. And we're going to keep knocking up against it because it is so ingrained. So there are some points, and I was going to wait because I wrote some points on my notes, and because I'm on my phone driving, I can't get to those notes. But just bear with me. You know me, I'm going to get there. So I'm hoping I'm going to hit all my points. But the first point I want to make is, and why the title of this is what it is, you cannot do the work of, see, I don't even like the word social justice, but you cannot do the work of advocating for yourself and people who look like you, and particularly people who are more marginalized than you, if you cannot, and I repeat, cannot own the fact that you will fuck up and you need to get back up, as my friend Kristen says, and this is funny because I only have 5 white friends, and she's taken that last spot. Kristen has taken that last 5 white friend spot because she's always wrangling white women, and her big issue is your white women's inability to rebound, particularly white women who think they're allies, who are, working on behalf of breaking down the patriarchy and all this other shit. When they get called out for racist bullshit, they have a hard time rebounding. And so let me break this down. So yesterday, there was an article came out that was talking about the person who brought the Roe versus Wade case to the Supreme Court. And back in, I think it was the late '90s, early '90s or something, she changed her story about now that she was pro-life and everything. And this article has come out because there's a documentary that's going to be on Hulu in the fact that she actually got paid. She did not actually change her perspective. She got paid by GOP groups, and from what I saw, it was over $400,000 over time to say to come out and say she no longer believed in Roe versus Wade. She no longer believed in the right to choose, and we can unpack that. First of all, how the fact that when this woman actually had this case as a white woman, to be able to take the privilege to be able to take a case like this to the Supreme Court at the same time that black women in places like Mississippi and Louisiana and other places were being sterilized. So that's right there is a whole other story for another day. So as I often said, this abortion argument is not about all babies. It is about white babies because white women have the most abortions. And so they've been trying to manage your bodies, white women's bodies, since time immemorial. Black women, they just steal our bodies. They just rape us. They just, we're not human, so it doesn't matter. So then it's not about our bodies. So I digress because I have to give you the feed. So the first article I posted was an article about there's the narrative that keeps coming up that I'm having you pay attention to, that whiteness is always the hero or victim and never the villain. So this woman I don't give a fuck about her circumstances. We all have circumstances. And I get that she, whatever. And see, this is the whole thing, because I don't even believe it at this point, because I understand that whiteness is always cast as hero or victim and never villain. So I have very hard time believing anything that begins in the story of white people, particularly white women, as heroes or victims. So that starts there. But she was in such dire straits that she needed this money. Well, she didn't need $400,000 of money, did she? I mean, it's like, okay, got you. But okay. So the story I posted was about this narrative that we keep seeing, that whiteness is always the hero or victim. So it's not her fault or the fault. There was a reason. There's always a reason for white people to cause harm. There's always a fucking reason. There's never just because they're fucking villains that whiteness is a villain. No, it's never that. But hell, a black person walking down the street, automatic villain. can we kind of shift who gets to be the default for villain and hero, victim and villain? Can we shift that so it's not always people like me that are always villains and whiteness is always the hero or victim? So I was pointing that out, and then as I posted that, someone sent me a tweet of a Beast, Daily Beast article, and this woman, Mary, who again, only reason I'm not tagging her, because I don't like that doggone, I don't like subtweeting and talking about people and they don't know, but this is not about her. So somebody gave me her tweet, and in the tweet it talks about, in her comments, it is again the narrative that this woman had to do this, or she's not fully culpable for her decisions because of extenuating circumstances. Whiteness always has fucking extenuating circumstances. They kill a motherfucker. Oh, he was doing something. She was doing something. Something happens. It's always somebody else. Whiteness is never to blame for anything. Absolutely not. So I get when I did this, because I said, I think I said my comment was, and here we go, ellipse, did the ellipses. So this woman's first statement to me was, first of all, with all due respect, right now, I already know we about to start some shit. I already know some shit's about to start, because there we go, So her whole thing was less about my comment and about you didn't do your work. You didn't show me the respect of looking at my work. Bitch, we all got work. I didn't give you the respect to show, to go research your work. I'm not talking about your work. I'm talking about what you're doing right now. This is a problem. Folks who doing this work do not get to fall back on the work that they do or did last month, did the minute before they fucked up. It does not matter. It is impact over intention. So I'm going to give you an example. Use me as an example. I fucked up 2 major times. Well, one major time, one I fixed. Both I fixed, but one was a major fuck up. And I was strategic about this, trying to have this conversation about white trans women coming in the brown and black lesbian and trans spaces, and how when they prioritize whiteness, they cause harm to those black and brown women in their communities. So I could not figure out how to do this properly, in a way that wasn't going to harm. I knew it was going to harm, and I was ready to take the hit for it. So I did it. I realized, fuck, yeah, I knew it was going to cause harm, but I still shouldn't have done it. So I deleted what I did. I actually created a podcast episode about it so that we could talk about my fuck up in the community. There was somebody who's, as a white trans woman who follows me, said that she didn't feel safe around with me anymore. I told her I absolutely understood, and that I hope my future work, I didn't say shit about my past work, my future work would demonstrate through consistent behavior that was not that I was making amends. Not about me. I apologized and I made amends. The second time it happened was when I first launched #causeascene, which was International Women's Day 2018. I did a talk, and it was about white women in white feminism. And I used a term, and this was when I was still understanding and trying to develop the language around transness. So I don't remember what I said specifically, but this was in March of 2018. Yes, someone came to me last year a trans woman came to me last year after viewing that, and it was just a snippet. It was not even 2 sentences. It was a sentence. It's a throwaway statement. And she told me that it was uncomfortable and it would cause harm. I did not ask. I didn't need to understand. I deleted the whole 40-minute talk. The whole 40-minute talk. It was a little bitty line. I could have gone back and tried to take it out. I could have done, but I moved. I learned. I grown from that talk. So there was no need for me to. It was okay. Good. Thank you for letting me know that. I apologize for causing harm. I'm taking this down from all platforms. And please, watch what I do in the future so that I can rebuild your trust. That's how that shit works. So don't fucking come to me and talk about the work. You didn't look at my work. Fuck you, fuck your work. And then you have people who come in who wants to take up for their friends. I get that. I get that notion. I get that feeling because this happens all the time. You get somebody who wants to come in and take up for their friends. First of all, make sure you know what the fuck the conversation is about before you do that. Do not come into the thing saying, I don't know what this is about, but this person is a good person. This is not about this person being a good person. I could give a fuck about their feelings. This is also an opportunity for folks, particularly white folks, to learn how to manage their fucking feelings. Manage your feelings. I ain't got shit to do with that. Ain't got shit to do with me. Manage your fucking feelings. I'm not dealing with your feelings anymore because it's not about feelings. People are being harmed. And if you're not the most vulnerable, don't care. Deal with your shit. I deal with mine. You deal with yours. So then you have somebody who comes in who is a mutual of both of us. I don't even know this other woman. She just, like I said, something somebody shared with me. And so it becomes this thing of this, and this has happened more than once. So that's why I want to bring this up. People who follow me, you know how I engage. It reminds me of when I several times I've dated. Men would say, "Oh my God, I love you. You are the thing that I most attracted to you is your honesty. Is how you tell the truth. You're transparent, except when that truth has to be told to them. And then all of a sudden, there's flaws in my strategy. There's flaws in my thinking. They're trying to gaslight me. So this is the thing that I need you in the community to know. You can't have it both ways. If you believe my strategy, if you understand that I'm not out here like a lot of people just fucking around, I have a strategy to this. There's a reason why I tweet every fucking thing I do. There's a whole bunch of shit I just sit back and don't tweet, and I could say something about, but it doesn't fit the strategy, so I just leave it alone. You cannot say that you really appreciate my work and how I engage and how bold and brave I am, and I'm doing it for, black people and blah, blah, blah. And yet, when your friend fucks up, then, there's a problem with how I'm engaging. You can't say shit about Kim except that she's consistent as fuck. I am consistent as fuck. I don't change. This shit does not change because it's a fucking strategy. That was problematic as well. And then she actually engages with Marco Rogers. And I wake up this morning to see the thread because I was like, whatever. So I wake up this morning to see the thread, and he was breaking it down. And she was, thank you for, for this perspective, and da-da-da. And she still ends with my work. It still became about her work. And I'm just like, oh, my fucking God. This is not about you. You cannot do this work if it's about you because you're not the systems. Also, so I'm talking, and then you know me, I go off in tangents because this list that I had is coming back to my brain. She's white presenting. If this is true, what somebody shared with me in the thing and something, I don't know where they grabbed this, is she's Taiwanese and white. She has a white father. Yes, you get to self-identify any fucking way you want to. I fully support how you self-identify. And yet, that still does not change how the systems of oppression, white supremacy, and racism and anti-blackness impact how you identify yourself. So I can walk out the house right now and say, I think I'm fucking brilliant. Systems in place don't think I'm fucking brilliant. They do everything in every system around me is designed to make sure that I do not succeed, that any brilliance I have is attributed to somebody else. So how I feel about myself and how I see myself does not address how the systems see me. The systems see me as a black woman who is dispensable and who's throwaway. That's what the systems see. So, yes, she may see herself as Taiwanese or and not white, and yet in photographs, you are white. Deal with that. If you can't deal with that, you cannot do this work because you cannot talk about how much you talk about white supremacy and white patriarchy if you cannot understand that you as a white presenting, I'll I'll just say non-white, even though if it's true she has a white parent, how the systems are designed to benefit people who are white and as close to white as possible. If you can't understand that in your advocacy, if you can't understand that and address it honestly in the work that you do, please don't tell me to look at your fucking work, because all your work is trash. Fucking trash. That's what the fuck I said. I don't give a fuck. And also, your work does not measure up equally to my lived experience. What the fuck? What? Y'all funny as fuck out here. So you as a white presenting woman, of all things, a white presenting woman tries to school me and tell me, first of all, that's civility bullshit. This is why I fuck civility, because it was like, if you show me any kind of respect, you would go look at my work. If you extended me the same courtesy, you would have seen my work and not been talking, bumping off at the gums. You would have shut the fuck up. That's what you would have done if you had looked at my work, baby. So I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Amy Simpkin, whatever the fuck her name, does the same shit. In the mix of throwing up two black women under the bus and making them targets, saying that they were Russian agents, it's all about, but my work. Fuck your work. We have to prioritize the most vulnerable. And when I'm doing this work, if I'm in the space with trans women, including white trans women, I recognize that they are more vulnerable than me, and I yield to them. This is why I need white trans women to yield to more vulnerable trans people in their communities. You have to yield to the most fucking vulnerable. It's called relative privilege. In each situation, we all have relative privilege. When I go into a conference in tech, I am more than likely one of the most vulnerable people there, because I remember going to a closure conference. There was 450 people there. It were 5 black folks. 5. It was like playing Where's Waldo, trying to find a Negro in this place. And they understood the problem, and they were working on that. So what I need y'all to do is, this can't be about your fucking ego. And that's the whole thing. When I see somebody talk about, look at my work, it's about their fucking ego. I don't trust you. You're going to cause harm, and I'm going to bring you down any fucking way I can. I cannot have that. My work is out there. You want to research it? That's fine. You don't? That's fine. But make sure before you try to engage with me, you know what the fuck you're talking about. Because this was not even about her. It was about the fact that the narrative was still being played out by someone who claims, well, I guess it was about her. Let me be honest. Yep, it became about her. She made it about her. I was talking about the narrative. But for someone who wants to keep talking about their work, if they don't understand the narrative that whiteness gets to, especially particularly being a white presenting woman, and they don't understand that the narrative of whiteness is always hero or victim and never a villain, you're going to fucking cause harm. So I hope I got everything on my list that I wanted to talk about, but I really had to unpack this because I need people to understand there is nobody out here who's doing this work 100% perfectly. We're making this shit up as we go because all the systems that are in place are fucking designed to discriminate, to cause, to be oppressive, to cause active harm. We're making this shit up. We were not supposed to live in a society where we question this shit. This is all new. And if you cannot understand that and know that at some point you will fuck up and be able to rebound, as Christian says, then fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck you. Have a great day.